Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
So fandom is an interesting thing, especially in an age where creativity, art, and media is largely fostered and produced by massive, mind-controlling corporate entities. As fans and consumers of products ranging from Star Wars to Marvel to Dragonball, we often find ourselves walking a fine line between valuing these products as important elements of the cultural zeitgeist and rabidly shoveling copious amounts of doo-doo down our throats while singing, "Yes, massa, more doo-doo, please." Sorry. So today, I have for you a list of the top 5 excuses I've seen used most often to shield media from criticism, a practice I've heard called toxic positivity. We'll go through them one by one in order of least annoying to most mind-rottingly irritating, and engage with each of these common deflections and approach them from a critical yet logical perspective, all while trying to avoid getting stage 10 cancer from the sheer stupidity.
Number 5. Why make a judgment about something you haven't seen yet?
So this is a pretty common one that you hear before media is released, while trailers, press releases, and all that kind of stuff is still coming out. And there's not really too much to say other than this is bootlicking. It's a bootlicking mentality. Companies are not entitled to an audience's money, time, or investment. They have to earn it. This is the purpose of marketing, press releases, trailers, etc., so that audiences can make informed decisions regarding said product and whether they want to spend their money on it. You, as an audience member, are supposed to make a judgment. This is why companies market products, so that you can decide whether the product is something you would want to spend your money on or invest your time in. Because again, these companies are not entitled to audience participation. As a responsible consumer, you should make informed decisions about whether you'd like to invest your precious resources in anything.
Number 4. It's not good, but I would rather try and enjoy it.
So this one makes me more sad than annoyed, because I get it. I really do. Everyone wants to enjoy the media they consume. Obviously, if I'm going to a movie theater, paying my money to go see it, you better believe I would like to enjoy a film. But when you say, "It's not good, but I'd rather try and enjoy it," essentially what you're saying is, I'd rather turn my brain off so I can consume shit products without feeling bad that I am eating shit. And again, that is bootlicking mentality. I too would like to enjoy media, but companies will never have incentive to make media worth enjoying if audiences are willing to mindlessly shovel whatever slop companies shit out down their throats. That is the power of a consumer's money within the production and consumption cycle. We vote with our wallets.
Number 3. You're just a hater.
So I gotta say, now we're entering truly radioactive territories. This one is just silly. It's a simple deflection, so in accordance with Hitchens' razor, I'll give a simple response. Like I said, this excuse, "you're just a hater," is a deflection used in order to frame an opposing criticism as fallacious, typically as ad hominem or ignoratio elenchi, aka strawman. Not to say that haters, quote unquote, in the way that the word is meant to be used, to address those who spew negativity regardless of validity or cause, don't exist. But in today's era of socio-corporate identitarianism and all-encompassing echo chambers, this phrase is more often than not used in the deflectionary manner previously mentioned. In short, this is an easy way to dismiss criticism without addressing the points that are being presented, which in and of itself is fallacious. Okay, pause. I'm not sure how much longer I can make it, folks. The radioactivity has reached my neural cortex, and these brain dead takes got me looking like SpongeBob when he had the suds. Someone, please call an ambulance. Angels, take me away.
Number 2, the corporation and its employees worked hard to make this product.
All right. We've reached the top 2, the peak of stupidity. So let me rant a little bit because now I'm in my bag. Everyone works hard. You work hard at your job. I work hard at mine. Get me the violin, because this doesn't mean anything when we're talking about the relationship between producer and consumer. Does the hard work of a Burger King employee mean that you are obligated to eat at Burger King every day? I hope not. If you go to a restaurant, order steak, and receive spaghetti instead, does that mean you just need to shut up and eat the spaghetti without complaint because the cook worked hard on it? Every filmmaker works hard on their films. Does this mean you are obligated to buy a ticket to every film ever released in theaters? Most of y'all couldn't afford that. Of course not. Despite all the hard work in the world, a consumer's money represents their values, opinions, and desires in a capitalist system of production and consumption. Corporate entities are never, I repeat, never entitled to your money. You are never obligated to support media. You can choose to spend your money on whatever you'd like. And if you choose to spend your hard-earned money on a film or any piece of media, it must be because you want to and for no other reason. Because ultimately, the filmmakers will not pay your bills, even if you've worked very hard. They will not advocate for you when your employer is laying people off. And they won't give you a dime even if you work hard supporting their media on the internet or in public forums. Someone, please try walking up to Chris Hemsworth and asking him, hey, I'm a little short on my rent today. Could you loan me $1? I saw Thor 4 like 10 times. See what happens.
Number 1, just be grateful. You could not make anything better.
All right, folks. We've reached the top of the list. The first place winner for the dumbest, stupidest, most idiotic thing I've heard people say to defend these corporate piles of dog crap has to be, just be grateful because you couldn't make anything better. Whew, this one makes my skin crawl, folks. We live in a society. Societies are built on the concept of specialization. That is to say, the process of concentrating on and becoming expert in a particular subject or skill. Even the most advanced eusocial societal organizations rely on specialization, meaning not everyone is going to be able to master every field of life. This is irrelevant when criticizing as a consumer. Just because I, as a carpenter, let's say, am not able to write a masterclass script does not mean that I, the carpenter, cannot point out when a piece of media or marketing does not resonate with me. Just like a script writer who was unable to build a chair would be well within their rights to criticize a carpenter who gives them a chair that falls apart immediately upon being sat on. I know. This is next level stuff, right? Mind-blowing education. Probably got you feeling like Jimmy Neutron when he's having a brain blast. But no, this is very simple. This excuse is used often, particularly when discussing media, because many people view artistic fields as entirely subjective and therefore unable to be criticized. This is untrue. Now yes, I understand, although every element of our perceived reality can essentially be reduced to being subjective, with one of the only objective truths being Descartes' axiom, cogito ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am. We are on the whole societal beings, and as such, we have decided to form our society on presuppositions. In other words, agreed upon assumptions that guide how we function amongst each other in everyday life. For example, the language presupposition that allows people to communicate. Like when I say the word cat, it can be presupposed that a fellow English speaker will know what I mean. But back to the topic. Using these presuppositions, we have created societally objective metrics by which art is defined, which is why it is fallacious to say that art is any more subjective than any other field of knowledge. Just like STEM fields, to the scientific method, any basic literature or art class will teach you the basic foundational presuppositions that allow things like literary analysis or art criticism to exist in the first place and be reproducible. Art, like everything else, can be criticized, and as such, we as consumers have the right to levy said criticism. Okay, the list is over. What are you still oh, you want to know why? Well, that's a complicated question that surely couldn't be answered simply in one video. But if I had to give it my best guess, I'd say, in an era of nonstop advertisement, people have begun associating their social identity with corporate structures. That is to say, socio-corporate identitarianism that I mentioned earlier, as well as trapping themselves within echo chambers of like-minded people to reinforce this corporate attachment. Therefore, criticism of corporatized media is not simply an analysis of that media's merits and faults, but instead a personal attack. Criticism is no longer a constructive engagement of critical thinking, but instead a deconstruction and defamation of the individuals who have associated their identities with certain medias and the corporate entities they represent. No longer do media publishers need to engage with criticism. They have manipulated the masses into engaging for them, acting as proverbial shields, or maybe the better word would be pawns, to deflect and indoctrinate others into spending their money on said media, no matter how lackluster or devoid of passion said media becomes. Don't be that guy. Don't be the dreaded Disney adult or meathead weeb. Remember, companies don't give a about you, so it's your job to be a smart consumer. Alright guys, so now we've really made it to the end of the video, and if you've made it this far, I really appreciate you. If you come across any excuses I didn't put on this list, do me a favor and leave them in the comments below. Maybe we can make a part 2 to this video. And if you have the time, check out my book, Villain, on Amazon. It's an enthralling narrative in script format interlaced with original artwork by me and my team that I am really proud of, so I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description below. And if you can't spend the money at the moment, I totally understand. Just drop a like on this video to make me smile. This is ProLastMedia, blasting off again, and I'll see you later, villains.